Well, hello again. There's been a bit of a hoo-ha recently about bone cement. The NHS procures most of the cement from a company called Heraeus in Germany. A problem at the factory is interrupted supplies, meaning there isn't enough available to keep up with demand. We use bone cement in hip, shoulder and knee replacement surgery. It's a very versatile material that's been in use for nearly 70 years in orthopaedic surgery. We're putting in a new patio at the moment, so I thought you might like to know a bit more about how the cement we use isn't the same as what the builders are using. Bone cement is basically just Perspex. Polymethyl methacrylate is the chemical name. The stuff we use contains antibiotics and an opacifier is added so that you can see where the cement is on an X-ray. Portland cement, the stuff that the builders use, sets to a hard stone-like consistency. It's perfect for building and construction work, but not at all suitable for use in the human body. Bone cement is more of a grout or a filler, creating a tight, secure fit between the implant and your bone. Bone cement is mixed in a gun, a bit like the one used to apply mastic. It goes through various phases as it cures. At first it's runny and sticky. After about 5 minutes, it's more like a soft toffee. That's when we put it into the bone and then place the implant. We pressurise it and the cement locks into the porous bone surface. After about 10 minutes, it's completely set and it's hard. It gets very hot in the last 2 minutes, which is when the cement starts to polymerise, or the molecules come together. Whilst we're waiting for it to go off, some people are known to use bits of it to produce little sculptures. I'll leave it to your imagination as to what they might be. Of course, I would never do this. Now I mostly use implants which are put in without cement. These are called uncemented components. They sit tightly against the bone directly. They have a rough surface into which the bone grows, and the results are just as good as the cemented systems. So why doesn't everybody use them? Well, this goes back to the early days of hip surgery when Sir John Charnley did his pioneering work. Uncemented stems use a different technique to put them in without causing problems like fractures or under or oversizing them. But their use is increasing. The cement shortage will no doubt accelerate this. In this X-ray, you can see the bone cement mantle highlighted by the arrow. The bone cement sits between the implant and the bone. Here's an uncemented stem sitting directly on the bone. So what does this mean for you if you're waiting for hip surgery? The NHS and the private hospitals are putting in contingency plans to try and keep things moving. The NHS is going to prioritise trauma surgery over elective surgery, so this might affect the waiting lists. There are other cement manufacturers, but these alternative products are subtly different in the way they're used and handled. My practice won't be affected as I'm very experienced in the use of uncemented hips. Resurfacing uses a bit of bone cement, but it's not the one that's been affected by the shortage. If you've got any questions, please leave them below. I will of course keep you updated on any further developments. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.